Hello again, everyone. Zack Attack is here at my WWE Clash of the Champions review for the night, Sunday, September 25th, 2016, from the Bangers Live Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Of course, the first Raw exclusive, so I had to say it. Pay-per-view, the first one of the New Era brand extension. Going into this pay-per-view, Raw knew it had a lot to top. SmackDown had set a precedent for brand-only pay-per-views by putting on a stellar Backlash pay-per-view just a few weeks ago. And with all that mounted against it, Clash of the Champions, because people like me will call it the Champions, like the old WCW events, this pay-per-view tonight was decent. Backlash was better. Backlash was better. Raw like Clash of Champions like Backlash had 3 good matches, 1 really good match, and then 2 decent title matches. A great women's match, by the way, great triple threat, but all 3 matches had kind of interesting, weird finishes. One which leaves us questioning what's the finish of the Best of 7 series. One that was like a sudden finish. And then we had a screwy finish, which, spoiler alert, no Triple H! Wow. Because nothing really developed tonight. Some people thought this Clash of Champions, basically, it's like a commercial-free wall. That's what it kind of was tonight. Nothing really big happened when it comes to significant storyline progressions. We did crown 1 new champion. And also a champion made his WWE main roster debut. After not appearing on Raw. But nothing really conclusive, especially, like I said, no Triple H appearance. I thought Triple H would get involved in the main event. Somebody else did. But we could have some scenes, we could have some development, especially after the way it finished and somebody's looking their eye at the end. And SmackDown's pay-per-view also gets bonus points for ending 20 minutes early. Well, Raw went over like 10 minutes. Like a regular Raw, the Clash of Champions pay-per-view went over. Like a regular Raw does. So there you go. 6.5 for this one. I think it gives SmackDown like a 7.0. So like I said, I liked the pay-per-view. It was good. There were some questionable decisions. Especially one person that should not have lost. And a team that may have lost too. But hey, maybe booked a little better. So there you go. Decent pay-per-view, but SmackDown was better. Now, on with my thoughts on the show, match by match. First up, the pre-show match. Nia Jax against Alicia Fox. We kind of knew how this was going to go. Okay opener. At least this pre-show match was announced weeks before. A week before, instead of being a last-minute match like the SmackDown pre-show for Backlash. They announced the pre-show match till that night, which was still a fun match between Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin. So, for this match, it was basically a Nia Jax squasher. But Alicia Fox, there's some offense in. Big head scissors kick. But despite having more offense than their match on Raw a couple weeks back, which became the catalyst for this match even happening. At least it was on the pre-show. Nia Jax looked dominant as always and destroyed Alicia Fox, won to the victory after Samoan drop. Finished as Nia Jax undefeated streak continues. 2.5. Nia Jax needs a better competition this year. Maybe we turn a page if she comes back or not. And maybe Emma may be coming back soon. And Summer Rae's been out for a little bit. But I don't think Nia Jax should be inserted in the title picture yet. You know, she will be in the WWE Women's title picture. They're calling the Raw Women's title. And the SmackDown Women's title is interesting. In the Raw Tag Team, SmackDown Tag Team. You know, they're adding that. They're adding the brands to the names of the titles now. Like they had the SmackDown titles, now they're doing it to Raw too. For their Tag and Women's titles. So now will be in the feuds eventually, but she still needs a lot of work. And needs to beat up people like Paige and maybe some others. So, there you go. dominant performance from Miss Jax to kick us off. Now on to our first match of the main card. It's for the WWE World Tag Team Championships of the world. The New Day defending against the Club. Now, you probably heard me complain about the booking of the Club in the last couple of weeks. I'm not the only one that's been bitching and giving my 2 cents about the Club's booking from being dominant badasses and make it look like fucking joke artists and a comedy act, which they're not. You know, they try to make it look like New Day, but guess what? Some people are meant to be comedy acts. People have a gift to be funny. The Club doesn't have the gift of being funny. They don't have the gift of Jericho. They don't have the gift of being funny. They have the gift of being badasses. And they did finally look like badasses tonight. Now, this is what the Club need to be. 2 guys who want to kick people's asses. No jokes, no flips, just fists, kind of like the Revival. Beat people up, and that's what they did in New Day. Sneak attacking him, even knocking out Xavier at one point, and almost mashing Francesca too. It looked dominant for an early matchup after that early onslaught. But it's like the aggressiveness that we haven't seen yet in a couple weeks from the Club, making it look more aggressive than they did the last couple weeks, trying to press the reset button after their bad booking. And proving that they deserve to be champions despite the bad booking, as mentioned. Kofi, who was being isolated for the most part, came rolling back before getting the big tag to Biggie. And he came in, but then he got isolated too. Great double teaming from the Club. The best I've seen of double teaming. You know, great double teaming work on Biggie. And then Kofi came back in, delivered a 12 in Paradise, and Xavier got back up after the attempt at the Unicorn Stampede. And he kind of got involved in the finish. With Rivy being distracted a little bit. After Big E got the big ending on to Anderson, then Gallows broke up the pin. Rivy got distracted by getting Gallows out of the ring. And Rivy did not see Carl Anderson getting nailed in the face by Francesca too. By Xavier. And with that, the midnight hour, that is the double team finish for the New Day. They nailed it on Anderson. 1, 2, 3 victory for the New Day retaining the tag team titles. New Day retains. Now, I think a lot of people, including myself, were expecting and thought that the New Day would lose tonight. Again, we thought they would lose at SummerSlam. First things first, better than a SummerSlam match because there was no screwiness in the matchup. And better double teaming, better look. King Club, but they lost with a little help from Francesca too. You know, Club wants to play dirty. New Day wants to play dirty too. But I said it a couple weeks ago. I'll say it again. Like, I want the Club to be champions, but they need to get over more and get better booking before they become champions. Because don't put the championships on them to get over. You know, you need something else to get them over before you put the championships on them. Because if you put the championships on them just so you can get them more over, it won't work. Kind of like wings. Anyway. So, and also another reason why I think the Club lost, that's because they need better booking before they become champions. Hopefully they get that soon enough. And they did look aggressive in that early half of the matchup. Stuff they should have been doing the entire feud. Taking out New Day, laying them out cold, looking like beasts. Better than last night. Beasts, you know. Another reason, they said New Day was on day number 399 of their never-ending Tag Team Championship World Tour. No, Miz, like the name is, the never-ending IC title tour. That's what New Day is, too. So I think they wanted New Day to go 400 days. Either Anderson and Gallows will win the titles on Raw, or maybe save it for Hell in a Cell, the next Raw brand pay-per-view. So they go, I'll get this match 2.8. Okay, start to the first match of the main card. Now, onto the match I thought would be the opening matchup, but it was one of the first two matches. For the Cruiserweight Championship, first defense of it on the main roster, TJ Perkins taking on Brian Kendrick. I love TJ's new entrance. His new theme is kind of like an old school 80s video game thing. I love this entrance video too. You know, I love it. It was very fun. This is a very technical matchup. I'm hearing and read that they're watering down the Cruiserweight division. They're not going to have them do as many high spots. Especially the ones that you saw during the opening matchup of the Cruiserweight division on Raw this past Monday, the Fatal 4-Way, between Grand Metalik, Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, and Brian Kendrick, which was the match that Brian Kendrick won to give him this shot against TJ Perkins, who didn't even debut on Raw. Made his debut tonight. The main roster. It was more technical than it was high-flying. There was some good high-flying spots. There's a great Hurricanrana from TJ Perkins that he did on Kendrick that nailed them both over the top rope. But it was very technical. Both guys have submission finishes. Burly choke, or Captain's hook, whatever they're calling it today, from Brian Kendrick against the leg lock of TJ Perkins. Both guys attempted a submission attempts throughout the night. And there was even some great variations of submissions too from both these guys. Very technical matchup. Decent action. Could have been a little bit more high spotty, but hey, not every Cruiserweight match has to be high spotty all the time. These guys can prove you can be technical in a Cruiserweight match too. And also the entire tournament. The CWC proved that all Cruiserweight matches did not have to be all high flying. They can be a mix of high flying and technical. And especially if you're dealing with Zack Sabre Jr., who I read signed a full-time contract. So despite some good action with some action in both guys nailing finishers to try and go for their submissions, including Kendrick going for another finisher. Sliced bread. He did attempt sliced bread at one point, but he did attempt it again and connected it. Despite much effort and best heelish moves, he got caught into the knee bomb. Not the leg on, the knee bomb. That's the submission of TJ Perkins. Put it on after numerous attempts. It made Brian attempt it. Now, they kind of kept the shaking hands thing that they did at the beginning of the match, like they did in the CWC. Brian refused to shake the hand before the match, but after the match, Brian did shake the hand of TJ Perkins before headbutting him, looking like a heel. So, it's good to see Kendrick back in the WWE. And looking this, he looked great. Like, both guys look good. 3.0. A little bit more high spotty could be good. But not too much of it, you know. Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. Kind of like 7 matches of Sheamus and Cesaro in this best of 7 series that they had. You know, the series has been good. You know, decent matches in there leading up to the tie. Like, when we saw that Sheamus won the first 3, we kind of knew the conclusion was going to be Cesaro rallying back and getting ready to make it to a 7th match. Well, guess what? The 7th match was the best match of the series. It was physical, it was long, it was awesome. But I think both guys beat each other up a little bit too much. Especially there were some nasty spots. And there were some other good spots too. My favorite spots in the match, Cesaro nailed the 619 at one point. That was cool. But he still had tip on the back, which is all opponent. Sheamus targeted big time. Big Irish Curse backbreakers and big moves on that back. But the nastiest spot of the match, and probably one of the nastiest spots of the night, was Sheamus was going for a brawl. They were brawling on the outside. Sheamus got knocked to the outside. Cesaro was going for a suicide dive off the middle rope onto Sheamus on the ground. And the way Cesaro landed, he's battling shoulder problems, having back problems. Now he's got a neck issue. The way he landed from the suicide dive, he landed right on his neck. Ugh, I cringe. I bet you everybody cringe. I hope the guys Cesaro did not get seriously hurt on that move. You know, Wallace cannot afford any more injuries right now. With Finn Balor out, they did not need to lose anybody else, especially a guy that should be pushed a lot more like Cesaro. I just hope it's just a concussion. But despite landing nastily on the neck, Cesaro continued on. Continue on to book him with a bad back. You can prove he can continue with a bad neck as well. Still, Perkins Cesaro still had the nerve to put Sheamus and the neutralizer into the swing. Despite battling, and he looked dazed, man. When he shook off the cobwebs. But then the ending. Was this supposed to be the ending? Or was it an audible? Both guys were then brawling on the outside. It was just a fight. You know, like, this is the best match of the series. And they did decent matches in the series. You know, this was okay matches, good action, but this is the best. You know, hard hitting. They knew this is the be-all end-all, and it's a pay-per-view match, so they bought it. But then they were brawling outside. They brawled by the timekeepers area. They closed on each other over the barricade of the wing side area, the timekeepers area, into the crowd, and referee stopped the match because both guys were like Sheamus was wobbly. Cesaro was still battling neck issues. And it was kind of a bullshit call. Because what does this mean for the best of 7 series? Who wins it? Because the winner was supposed to get a championship opportunity. Probably for the US Championship. Or maybe the Universal Championship. But we have an inconclusive finish with this. With the referees throwing out the match. No contest. It was a Saturday to end this awesome match. So I was going to give it a little bit of... And it's the best match tonight. But my original rating for this match was going to be a 4.0. But I took 3 points off for the ending being shitty. So 3.7 for this best match tonight. Like I said, took a few points off for the ending being inconclusive. It being a weird way to end it. Whether or not it was the way they were going to end the match or an audible, it was still a shitty way to end it. Especially in this, the be-all, end-all match in the best of 7 series, leaving us scratching our heads on who's going to win this thing. Are they going to have another match? Are they even going to have another match? Especially in the way these guys beat each other up. Especially Cesaro. How bad is he hurt from that nasty fall he took? The nasty landing he had on his neck tonight. After seeing his partner, Tyson Kidd's career, end with a neck injury when he took a muscle buster by Samoa Joe last year, may not even wrestle again. To see Cesaro land on his neck, it may be hurt as well. Hopefully his career is not over, like Tyson Kidd was when he hurt his neck. But it wasn't a muscle buster. That was the cause. It was Cesaro trying to go on high risk. So, there you go. Good match, bad ending. Now on to Sami Zayn and Chris Jericho. Despite the lack of buzz for this feud, you know, lack of animosity, you know, they build it up on a highlight reel. You know, build it up. At least they giving these guys something to do, especially Sami. At least it's on the main card of a pay-per-view and not the pre-show like it was at SummerSlam. In a last-ditch match with him and Neville against the Dudley Boys. And what would be their final match in the WWE before we time into the next night. So, but still a decent matchup. But, spoiler alert, the one guy won. Why can't Jericho get other guys over? First he beat AJ at WrestleMania. But that didn't hurt AJ too much because now he's the SmackDown World Heavyweight Champion. But Jericho beat Sami Zayn when he needs momentum more than ever. I talk about capitalizing on momentum. WWE has failed to capitalize on momentum of Sami Zayn beating Kevin Owens at Battleground. And that's what people were cheering on Jericho during this match. And it was still a decent matchup though. Sami looked good in the matchup. Both guys looked great. He's trying to deliver big moves like the Mitchell Open Driver, Blue Thunder Bomb. There's a couple botches in there. Sami was going for like a neckbreaker move. But Jericho saved it though. And there was another spot that Zayn was going for the around the ring post DDT on the Jericho. He kind of tripped up a little bit. It was still nailed, but it was sloppy. Sloppy execution from Sami. He tripped up. They recovered, but it was still sloppy. So despite the great efforts of Sami Zayn, even numerous and I do mean numerous attempts at the haluva kick. He went to the well, too many, got caught in the cold-breaker after numerous attempts at the haluva kick. 1, 2, 3 victory. For, like I said, the one guy getting over, Chris Jericho. Jericho did not need this win. Like, I'm not dissing Jericho. I like Jericho. But this is the second time in recent months that Jericho has gotten over and the one guy won. You know, he won against AJ in AJ's first match at Mania. And he beat Sami Zayn when he needs a little bit of momentum on his side. So, kind of a bad way for Sami to lose. So, there you go. Now, on to the second best match of the night. The triple threat match for the women's title. Sasha Banks against Charlotte against Bayley. Supposed to be one-on-one. Charlotte against Sasha. But Bayley was thrown in after the double pin during the triple threat #1 contenders match with Dana Brooke a couple weeks ago on Raw. Now, whether Bayley was inserted because of Sasha's back injury, or they want to save a Charlotte-Sasha one-on-one match for maybe Survivor Series, time will tell. But I've applauded these three women for so long, and they put on a great matchup. Not as much high whiskey. They kind of learned from SummerSlam, because Sasha Banks and Charlotte went high whisk, maybe a little bit too much. Especially there was some noticeable botches from Charlotte. None of that tonight. Fun match. Get Dana Brooke out of there. The only bad thing about triple threat matches, no DQ rule. That means anything's legal. There is Dana Brooke was allowed to get involved. She kind of spoiled it, but not as bad as like Ric Flair would. But that aside, it was still a fun match with these three great women. Triple threat match at Mania was awesome. Even without the build, like this triple threat match didn't have the build that the triple threat match at Mania had. You know, way more build, more weeks notice. You know, this match was just made last week into a triple threat. But with that aside, it was still a fun match. You still had Sasha and Charlotte go one-on-one at some point in the matchup. You know, great spots between them. Great action. But Bayley got involved in it, and she looked good in her first major pay-per-view match as a full-time member of the main roster instead of just a one-night stand like it was at Battleground. There's a great spot with the double knees from Sasha on both Charlotte and Bayley. And it was just a great all-in-all match. Despite Dana Brooke getting a little bit too involved, she got Charlotte to the rope a couple times when she got in pretty predicaments. She broke counts. She broke submission holds. Like, she got a little bit too involved. They should have just limited it in a book involvement. And maybe, like, get her involved and get her knocked out. Like, had Bayley or Sasha knock her out. It was also funny spots with the triple drop kick. That was a funny spot early on. And Sasha and Bayley had some double teaming on Charlotte, but then they eventually turned on each other. They had some one-on-one moments, too. All the girls tried to go for their finishers. You know, Sasha went for the bank statement. Bayley for Bayley. She didn't nail it, and that's when Dana got in. But the ending was kind of sudden. Kind of a sudden finish. After Dana got involved yet again in the matchup, Charlotte got a big boot onto Bayley that knocked her into Sasha. With Bayley losing for that big boot, and another big boot, 1, 2, 3, Charlotte wins. Kind of a sudden finish after 2 big boots. At least Bayley was the one that got the pin. Yeah, Bayley's lost a little bit more than she should on the main roster. But at least it still once again saves Charlotte and Sasha's one-on-one encounter. Now, I know a lot of people would have loved to have seen Charlotte lose tonight to either Bayley or Sasha. But I think Sasha deserves to beat Charlotte in a one-on-one match, not a triple threat. Yeah, I know Sasha won the NXT title in a fatal 4-way match last year. She does not deserve to win that way again in a multi-woman match like that. She needs to win in a one-on-one encounter. So, 3.5 for this one. Fun matchup. Great matchup between great women. Been applauding them for so long. The ending kind of sudden. I took a couple points for the finish being a little bit too sudden for me. So there you go. Fun matchup though. Charlotte won. At least we're going to see a Sasha Charlotte one-on-one match again, and hopefully they'll learn from their mistakes at SummerSlam. Like I said, not being too high-risky. They didn't do as many high-risk tonight, and I think it kind of worked. It was a good match. Now on to the co-main event for the second straight pay-per-view in a row. But at least this time, the match actually fucking happened. For the United States Championship, Rusev defending against Roman Reigns. This has got Super Cena match written all over it. Especially with the shenanigans. We all knew this match would be... We all knew the ending of this match, no matter who won, was going to end screwy. Guess what? It did. We did have some screwiness involved in this matchup. And the match was okay, for the most part. Even if it's a Reigns match. Or, of course, a match involving not just a Roman Reigns, who got booed out again, but, of course, his alter ego, who is faster than Rey Mysterio, more powerful than the Big Show, able to bury careers in a single bound. Super Reigns! And he got destroyed by the fans. But he did okay in this matchup. Despite his predictable moves, he tried to hold his own against Rusev. And the fans kind of trolled it. You heard CM Punk chants, even Goldberg chants. There was a little bit of movement of Goldberg showing up. Not happened. It would have been more exciting to see something happen, like something big happening. You know. So after the moves, it was just a fight. You know, they brought on the outside a bit, using the steel steps as a weapon a little bit. Rusev gave his big flying kicks and stuff. But then Zach got nailed a couple times with the spear and various Superman punches, including one in midair. And doing one attempt at Superman punch, Lana got involved. But I think she didn't put Rusev's foot in the wall, but she pulled the referee out. So instead of DQing Rusev, which he had every right to, he threw Lana out. Setting up Rusev's fall. Despite Rusev trying to recover from that, including putting Reigns in the accolade. After that, distraction, seeing his wife get kicked out. Superman punch! Or should I say spear? 1, 2, 3. The only new champion tonight, Roman Reigns, defeating Rusev for the United States Championship. Now, Rusev getting it back was great. You know, making him look like a badass here again. But he will still be a badass here, despite not being a champ anymore. But, I think a lot of people agree with me. Reigns and Cena have a lot in common. They both got pushed too soon, too fast, and fans got sick of them and booed them. Cena took a lot of years to get the haters to at least respect him. They still boo him, but they like his matches a lot more. Last year, especially when Cena won the United States Championship and had the U.S. Open Challenge. The matches were great. You know, matches against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. And this year, having great matches with AJ Styles. There are 2 matches at SummerSlam and Money in the Bank. SummerSlam being the better one, especially with a clean finish, was an awesome series of matches. Reigns could be elevated like that, like to get the fans' hatred of him, besides turning him heel, using the U.S. Championship as a pedestal. Yes, I said about the club earlier, about using a championship to get him over. Well, Cena did use the so-called demotion from being from the main event card to getting a mid-card title into a good thing. And elevating him a little bit more. And putting on some really good matches. The same might happen to Reigns being U.S. champion. It could elevate him, but he's still got a lot more work to be done. To try to get the fans' respect back. You know what I mean? About the fans turning on him. Because they should have, instead of pushing him too fast, they pushed him too late. They should have pushed him at the Royal Rumble 2014 when he was the last guy in there booing Batista. Then he was Batista the next year. And he lost momentum when he got injured. You know, when he came back. And he got booed. And that's what happened to the Usos too. You know, one of them got injured. They were gone for too long. And they got booed. Now they're heels. Good thing for them. We'll see what to do with Reigns. 2.6. You know, the match was okay. This was the only clunker tonight. Like the Backlash pay-per-view had a clunker too. That was the Orton match against Wyatt turning into a Wyatt King match because of the last minute injury to Orton. Now on to the main event. For the WWE Universal Championship, Kevin Owens. Yeah, wear my KO shirt again. Taking on Seth Rollins. This was not just a KO show, it was a KO PPV. Now this match, slow going, but it got really going. And these guys just put on a good matchup. Two former NXT champions colliding. The first NXT champion in Rollins against one of the best NXT champions of all time, Kevin Owens. I know there's a lot of debate on that, but who is the best NXT champion, whether it's Owens, or Big E, or Rollins, or Sami Zayn. Maybe not Sami Zayn because he didn't have the title that long. Balor's in that list of best NXT champions. Shinsuke could be up there, but it's too early to tell because he only had a championship about a month. But he might be considered when it's all said and done. When his reign is over and done, and we get to analyze it for the years to come. So these two put on a good up and down matchup. Back and forth action. With Owens nailing some big moves. Numerous attempts. He did nail the cannonball splash one time, but he missed another attempt. So my favorite spots in the matchup. The ball on the outside. And Owens was going to do a big splash onto Rollins. He was going to run from the Washington announce table to splash Rollins on the Smash announce table. But he wasted a little bit of time by doing the suck it to Rollins. Whether it was an ode to his mentor Triple H or his former Mount Rushmore buddies and of course Bullet Club buddies, Young Bucks who do that too. Don't matter. It'd be interpreted as both. He took too much time with that and missed because Rollins went out of the way. I mentioned earlier that Cesaro's spot when he landed on his neck was one of the nastiest spots, not just of his match, but also of the night. The other nastiest spot of the night was when Rollins was being set up for a move by KO on the top rope, which turned into a top rope gutbuster. God, that was nasty. And Rollins landed nicely hard on his chest, especially he was trying to sell a knee injury. Because Owens tapped on Rollins' bad knee, and Rollins didn't sell it that well. He didn't sell it as much as Shinsuke don't sell knee injuries. But he did sell that injury he sustained from Samoa Joe on NXT a couple weeks ago. Anywho, after that nasty gutbuster, Rollins recovered. I like the sequence when Rollins did like a big kick, then Owens did a super kick, and then Enziguri. Like the great sequence there of kicks. But then we saw a little interference. No, not Triple H. Chris Jericho became the interference. Like we all thought, like we knew there'd be some sort of interference in this matchup. But we thought it'd be Triple H and answer some questions that have yet to be answered about his involvement with Kevin Owens. We thought he'd show up tonight. But, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we didn't. Jericho got involved. And Referee got knocked down at one point. And Jericho beat down on Rollins a little bit. But then he got chased by Rollins and took him out. And got the pedigree on Owens at one point. He got Owens locked in the pedigree and got it. Referee was out and fans were counting. But then here's when it kind of gets interesting, kind of. Stephanie brought out another referee. And Rollins was happy, you know, with that referee, you know, trying to get him back in. But then by the time that happened, Owens recovered. Rollins walked straight into the Papa Powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Owens won. Retained the title with no help from Triple H. But look at the eyes of Stephanie. She had like those devious eyes. Rollins has been saying that he thinks Stephanie was involved. And Stephanie keeps denying it. But she did say, you did deserve to lose to Owens that night. You are replaced. Sensing that the heelish Stephanie's coming back. And seeing from the look of her eyes, especially the way she brought out the referee. And the referee took his time to get in the ring for one thing. He didn't mention that part. That the referee didn't just go straight to the ring. The new referee that Stephanie sent out went straight to the old referee. And when he did come back in, that's when Rollins got the Papa Powerbomb delivered. So, there you go. 3.4. The match was great. A couple points deducted for. Actually, I'm gonna give it. I think the women's match. I'll give 3.5 for the women's match. No, 3.6. Okay, the women's match 3.6, and the world title match, the universal title match 3.5. Deduct the points for the with no Triple H involvement. Like something big should have happened during this match. That's why a lot of people may call this Sunday Night Raw, because it felt like a Raw episode. There was no big progressions. Like there was some progression in storylines, but we thought there'd be a bigger progression with an appearance from Triple H. Maybe the same that for War tomorrow night. Maybe it didn't matter about. Maybe they didn't care about buy rates. They want Triple H to show up on a wall to beat football. Because ratings are down again. Especially in SmackDown's. Well, SmackDown ratings are down too, but SmackDown's putting on a little bit better show. Not just on TV, but also, in this case, PPV. And I know No Mercy would be a fun pay-per-view. Hell in a Cell, Wall's got a lot to, to redeem themselves from this first showing. Like it was a decent first showing, but not as good as Backlash. So, there you go. That's my thoughts on this pay-per-view. Once again, 6.5 for this Clash of the Champions pay-per-view. With that in mind, y'all been attacked by the review from Zach. See you later, yeah.